AITAH for refusing to help a stranger on the street because I felt they were scamming people for money? I was walking to my car when I saw a woman standing by the entrance to a store, looking distressed. She started walking up to people and asking for help, saying her car broke down and she needed gas money to get home. Normally, I'd probably be more sympathetic, but something about her didn't sit right with me. She was too calm and well-dressed for someone who supposedly just had a car issue, and the whole thing felt rehearsed. I saw her approach a few people, all of them giving her small amounts of cash, but she kept asking for more. When she came up to me, I just said, "Sorry, I don't have any cash on me," and kept walking. But as I did, she called me a jerk and said I should have at least offered to help in another way. I felt bad for a second, but then I realized that it could be a scam. I wasn't about to be part of something where she's probably running the same line on everyone for free money. A bunch of people on the street were falling for it, and I couldn't help but wonder how often this happens. I feel like it's on me to be cautious, but at the same time, I feel like I might have come off as rude. I've read enough stories about scams to know better, but was I wrong for not doing more to help, or at least offering her some other way to get assistance? AITAH for telling my wife she cannot forbid me from masturbating because my libido has drastically increased the past few months. My wife, 34F, and I, 34M, have been married for 8 years and we have 2 children. My wife and I have a healthy and active sex life, and years ago we realized that the key to having an active sex life was to also limit how much we masturbated. My wife and I have always had a medium libido. However, over the past few months, my libido has drastically increased. I don't know why, it just has. My wife thinks it's because of our college reunion we had last year, where one of my exes also came over. My wife thinks it's because my ex looked gorgeous that night, and that's why my feelings are all over the place. However, I've told my wife multiple times that reunion has nothing to do with it, and I don't care about my ex. I don't even remember too much from that reunion. But since my libido has drastically increased, I can no longer just follow that lifestyle where we have sex just 2 to 3 times a week. I need to do stuff on other days. And I don't even watch porn. I just read stories online. I'm not even asking my wife to do anything. But my wife thinks I'm being selfish and I need to have self-control. However, it's becoming increasingly hard for me. Last night, I told my wife she was the one who was selfish because our sex life isn't even affected. I told my wife I always think about her needs, but it's time she thinks about my needs too. My wife did look really sad after I said that, and she apologized and even cried, and I felt guilty. Was I the AITAH for not letting my boyfriend decide what I wear? This is me and my boyfriend's first relationship, and we're still getting used to things, but he keeps telling me he doesn't like me wearing fancy clothes like dresses, and he doesn't like me wearing shorts. He thinks I'm doing it for attention, but I just like dressing nice sometimes. He thinks I shouldn't dress nice because other people will see, and he doesn't like me wearing tight stuff because I have a big lower area, and I try not to, but sometimes it just appears, and he gets mad still. I told him I can't control it, and I just want to wear the clothes I want, but he thinks I'm just doing it for male gaze and trying to have everyone's attention when that is the least thing I want. And I don't wear to short and to tight clothes, but he still feels angry when I'm dressing nice to go with friends or wearing some type of shorts. I told him I don't like it when he controls what I wear and when he says I'm just doing it for attention, but he says it's true and he's not comfortable. But I like what I wear, and I wish he understood. Now I'm trying to make him understand, but he keeps getting angry and we end up in an argument. AITAH, and what should I do? What? AITA for refusing to cover for my sister's affair when her husband confronted me? My sister, 32F, has been married to her husband, 35M, for 6 years. We've always been close, but recently she confided in me that she's been having an affair with her coworker. She claimed her marriage had been on the rocks and begged me not to tell anyone. Fast forward to last weekend, her husband showed up at my place out of nowhere, visibly upset. He told me he found some suspicious texts and asked if I knew anything. I panicked and said, "You should probably talk to her." That must have been a dead giveaway because he stormed off, and now my sister is furious. She says I basically confirmed the affair by being cagey and that I ruined her life. I told her I wasn't going to lie for her, and that this mess was her responsibility. My parents think I should have done more to protect her, but I feel like she put me in an impossible situation. AITA, AITAH for telling everyone not to keep food for my dad and stepmom. My dad and stepmom travel often, and each time they travel, they never tell us when they are leaving or tell us when they are coming back. But it's stupid because we all know once that car leaves the house, it's going to the airport. Even though when we ask the driver, he lies and says he is going to the mechanic to fix something. He only uses that particular car when he is traveling and the other for daily use, so we always prepare meals for the both of them once we see the car is gone. But I got tired of this, and I thought if they really don't want us to know they are coming back, then let's truly make them believe we don't know they are coming back. So I asked everyone not to keep food for them, and everyone agreed, because if you don't know someone is coming, why would you prepare for them, right? I also intentionally went out that day so they wouldn't even come home and ask me to make something for them. They came back, and my dad was so pissed and was yelling that no one kept food for him. Not sure why he was so angry, because I thought he didn't want us to know he was coming back. They got angry and went out to eat in a restaurant. My sister was home then and said he was really pissed. I don't feel a slight ounce of guilt for doing this. Maybe next time he will learn to tell us he is coming back and not hide it from us, but then tell all his friends and workers as if he doesn't trust us. It's not like we do anything bad for him to distrust us that much, but my mom says I shouldn't have done this regardless. AITAH for wanting to leave my fiance because he lies about his job? My fiance and I are engaged in building a life together. I don't care what he does for work. He could be a laundry worker, a parking attendant, or whatever. But I do care that he's honest about it. And I recently found out he's been lying to me about his jobs and income. This isn't the first time he's lied about it. He has lied to my parents before, which maybe I could understand due to embarrassment or whatever. But now he's lying directly to me, and that crosses a critical line. Every time I ask him why he does it, his answer is, "I do it for you." And that makes me furious because it feels like he's putting the blame on me. I've asked myself 1,000 times if I still want to be with him, and the truth is, I no longer want him to be the father of my children. But leaving is hard because, compared to my past relationships, he treats me like a queen. He's a true gentleman. On top of that, he has a lot of debt and is at serious risk of losing his possessions. We were planning to put the title of the house we're building in a cooperative under my name, so that if his creditors came after him, at least they couldn't take our home. But now I don't want to go through with it. I'm afraid that if I leave, his life will completely fall apart. But at the same time, I know his problems existed long before I came into the picture. So am I the villain for wanting to break up with him? AITAH for hating my sister so much? So basically, I, 20F, have an older sister, 21F, who is an absolute nightmare. She can't cook, she doesn't clean, she does the absolute bare minimum for herself. Everyone else has to do it for her, and if we say no, then she'll kick off and scream. She'll sit there and call everyone fat, pervert, all sorts of names. She's told me on several occasions to kill myself. She's told my mom several times to wrap her car around a tree. She hits people if she thinks they're doing something she doesn't like. She'll get right up in your face, even if playing, but will snap and be nasty if you tell her to move away. Life is hell with her. I truly can't stand her. But AITA for feeling this way. AITAH for ignoring my grandparents when they needed me. After they ignored me for years, my grandparents always favored my sister because she won contests, while I was just the academic one. They barely acknowledged me, but constantly pressured my parents, despite my dad's chronic illness, for money, chores, and land. Now that they need help, they suddenly expect me to step up. When they asked me to convince my parents to let them move in, I just said, "Ask your other children," and cut contact. Now my family says I'm being heartless. I feel like they never cared about me, so why should I care now? AITAH